Hi everyone, in today's video I'm showing you exactly how I optimize a new store in Shopify. In today's video we're going to focus on the add to cart rate, which is really low. So I'm usually aiming at 5 to 10% add to cart rate on standard e-commerce stores. This is a really new store and we set it up as fast as possible in order to start driving traffic, and now we're going to optimize. We're going to start by going through the website, and I could see from my analytics that most of our clients come from mobile, so we're going to look at the mobile version of the website only. Let's now go through the website and see what we can improve. First, we're going to add a sticky add to cart button. We want to make really sure that our call to action is clearly accessible. I want this add to cart button to be accessible above the fold. Another pain point of the button might be its color. It might not be visible enough. So let's give it our secondary color, which is orange in our case. We want this title to fit in 2 lines. A third line is pushing all the other important content too much down. Now, by having a look at other apparel store, it's important to add a link to the sizing chart right in the product box at the top. Most other apparel companies do this, so that might be the best practice. By looking at other stores, we see that we might want to improve the pictures. Especially we want to add bigger and more heating pads, and we want almost every image to have heating pads. Only a few pictures shouldn't have the heating animation, and those are the ones that show either the comfort or what it looks like in real life. We also want to improve our logo because it doesn't look professional, it's pixelated. We want to use standard font size. So this store had at first been developed for Bing ads and aiming at the older population. But if your store is underperforming, you always want to go with best practices. So we're going to give it standard font sizes. And finally, we're going to install Hotjar to track the results of our implementation. It's been a few days since we implemented the changes, and the add to cart rate is now between 5 and 10%, which is where we wanted it to be. Obviously, the next steps of the funnel still need to be optimized, but that's for a future video. I'm now going to share with you my repeatable framework for optimizing a new e-commerce store that doesn't have any historical data yet, so you can take your store to the next level too. Let's get started. The first step in my framework is to define which part of the funnel needs optimization. These are the benchmarks that I use. But the question remains, how do you optimize a website without historical data and which doesn't have enough traffic for proper A/B testing? Well, the answer is simple. Follow these next steps. Step 1, best practices and common sense. I'll add a link in the description where you can download a checklist with over 100 items that your website needs to have. When you don't have historical data, you want at least to have all the best practices in place. This is what we did earlier in this video. You can also go through the website and improve it with your common sense. When you are first starting, however, try to focus on the best practices and avoid common sense. Common sense is something you train over time by analyzing and creating dozens of stores. Step 2, competitor analysis. Look at your best competitors and see what they are doing better than you. Compare your website to theirs and implement everything that makes sense. Chances are that your competitor has already done most of the optimization work. And if they're still in business, it means that they got their numbers right. And that's it. With this framework, you can optimize any new store, even if it doesn't have any historical data yet. Implement the best practices and look at what competition is doing better than you. Trust me, if you follow these 2 steps, you'll be on your way to a successful e-commerce stores in no time. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to download the checklist in the description.